Okay, so this video is pretty much, it's not a Smallville video. What I really put this channel up for, the Igloo of Solitude, is I was trying to voice my opinion on what a Superman reboot should be, because now they're getting in the talks of reboot. And I've had an idea for a long time of what I wanted my personal interpretation of Superman to be, and it doesn't mean it's going to get published or get into the big screen. In fact, if that happens, I'm probably going to be long dead and rolling over in my grave. And yeah, it's never going to happen. But anyway, it's just a fan's interpretation of what I think Superman could be, because really, Superman Returns was just not the Superman that we needed. You know, like, some people like it, that's fine, but the problem is, there's so much that's, I hate to say it, but wrong with it, you know? Like, we don't need the Richard Donner interpretation sequel. We need Superman Rebooted. Kevin Smith and J.J. Abrams both had interpretations for making, and Tim Burton, for making a new Superman movie. Some of their ideas really didn't work. Some of them were very, very traditional, and actually, my personal favorite is Superman Lives by Kevin Smith. And if you can find that script, find it, read it, and it is just great. And this was like going to be in 1997 or something like that. But yeah, the whole, like, I really don't think that Superman Returns sequel to that would have worked out, because Bryan Singer has actually admitted he didn't read the comics of Superman. He just really was just trying to make a sequel to Richard Donner. And he said for the sequel that they were going to have a alien supervillain. So really, the only person that would have come out is Zod. And that's just really kind of beating a dead horse. We don't need to see General Zod, because you're really just making remakes and remakes. You're not bringing us that much that's new, you know? So yeah, this is sort of my interpretation of what a Superman plot should be. First of all, the plot. Give Superman a challenge. For goodness sake, Superman has been dubbed a god among men. You need to give him a challenge. The Kryptonite mountain that he lifted up in Superman Returns, I'd say that was the pinnacle of his challenge. But he still could have something. Give him a challenge for the whole friggin' movie. You know? Like, why would he be fighting like Richard Pryor or Nuclear Man or crap like that? Superman needs something where Superman is so powerful, we need to throw something at him that is more powerful at him. That's what we need. And don't just say, oh, give this person kryptonite. Lots and lots of kryptonite. Kryptonite is so overused. And for this interpretation, my first reboot idea, there's no kryptonite. You're probably thinking, how's he going to get hurt then? There are other ways of hurting Superman than kryptonite. People seem to forget that these days. So yeah, this is what I think. First of all, Clark Kent and Superman. Superman is obviously a Boy Scout. He's the person who says, this is what's right. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm going to follow the book. That's how it's going to be. Clark Kent, I really think, should not be that high of a reporter. Like, Clark Kent isn't somebody who's meant to be thrown into the spotlight, because really, we're not all idiots. We know that a pair of glasses is not going to cover someone's identity. So the way that the identity thing with the glasses should really work is he shouldn't be in that high a spotlight. He should be someone who's, you know, in the shadows. Or not Superman, Clark Kent. He should be someone who's in like the back of the Daily Planet room, instead of saying, oh, the Pulitzer Prize goes to Clark Kent. You know, he's not that kind of person. He could do something like that. He doesn't want to be. That's how we need to make Clark Kent here. He needs to be someone who's got a career, and not someone who's going to, you know, keep rising. Stay where he is. Be like a reporter, but not like, you know, reporter of the year. That's something that Lois Lane should sort of be. And yeah, he doesn't want to draw attention to himself. He wants to have like a human life and feel like a human being, even though he isn't one. So really what I think Clark Kent is, is sort of a voyeur. He's, well, not in the kind of sense that you're probably thinking, but someone who is observing the human race because that is what he wants to be, because he knows he's an alien. And the thing that people really start to forget these days is that Clark Kent is a part of Superman himself. It's not just an act. This is the human side that Superman grew up with. But he is Superman. He is Kal-El, first of all. The human side is sort of like Davis Bloom in Smallville. It's the camouflage that he grew up with, you know? And now let's get on to Lois Lane. Okay. This is why I really did not like Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane in Superman Returns. Lois Lane is not a damsel in distress. For goodness sake. All this chick did is scream and say, "Oh, save me, Superman," blah, blah, blah. Lois Lane is an army brat. She's someone who does get kidnapped a lot, but Lois Lane's the kind of person who would kick you in the groin before you strapped her in a chair. She was raised by a frigging general, for goodness sake. Like, do you not think that she would at least have a little bit of a soldier part of her? I've really gotten sick of that. Margot Kidder is someone who got a lot of Lois Lane. Erica Durance, though, is as the current Lois Lane, is absolutely fantastic. I don't think she has ever been. There is anybody who has played a more of a Lois Lane than her. Because she, like, in almost every episode she's in, she kicks somebody's butt. So, yeah. You really stop this Lois Lane screaming for Superman crap. Alright, so let's get into Lex Luthor. Now, Lex Luthor, I think, has been the main villain long enough. I'm not saying he should be a villain. I'm saying he's been the main villain for long enough. And yeah, he doesn't need to be, like, making deals with aliens or stuff like that, like he does in Superman 2 with General Zod. He doesn't have to be that. He can be a villain. He can be a thorn in Superman's side. He doesn't have to be a main villain. And first, I'm going to say this right now. Enough with the frigging real estate. My frigging gosh. I am so tired. When I first heard that Superman Returns was going to be this sequel to Superman 2 and 1, or Richard Donner's Superman movies, and then I found out that he still wants frigging real estate. Are you kidding me? Like, Lex Luthor has been so many big things in the comics. He's been a scientist. He's been a CEO of LexCorp. He's been president of the friggin' United States. And you're making him do real estate? Could you be dumbing him down more? Like, I'm really sick and tired of that. Like, Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor in Superman Returns, he did a good job. The problem is, he didn't have that much to work with. Kevin Spacey should have been one of those things. Scientist, CEO, or President of the United States. Not a real estate hound. I get the fact that he was also saying, "Oh, I've got weapons and stuff, like alien technology and all that." You still want real estate. And Lex Luthor is really the proof that just because you're human doesn't mean you can't have power in another way. Because really, Lex Luthor is not someone who's like a Batman type person. He's a billionaire. He's someone who's got political or wealth, and he uses it for evil. You know, like, he doesn't need kryptonite as an excuse. This guy has been able to fight Superman with more than that. He's got, like, red sun simulators, and he's got a powered exoskeleton. He's been able to fight Superman with more than kryptonite. So yeah, that's how those are the three big characters that you really need to look at, and the plot of the movie, because really there is so much that Superman Returns did. It was a good movie. Superman needs to be great. Superman needs, when you have Batman looking more awesome than Superman, that is a problem. I'm gonna leave it at that. because I really thought that Batman really whooped Superman's butt compared in the movies of the modern age. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will still be doing small reviews if you thought that I was just gonna change it to this. But yeah, that's about it, and I'll see you guys later. Alright.